So if Hitler was not a Christian, then what was he? Well, if you read carefully his works, his speeches and such, it seems the closest thing we can probably pin him down on, and again, he may not even have had a completely consistent metaphysic, but I think the closest we can come is identifying him as a pantheist. That is, he believed that nature is divine, or nature is God. He talks quite often about nature in a deified sense. If you read Mein Kampf, he's consistently deifying nature. In fact, the translators of Mein Kampf always capitalize nature. So the translators, and by the way, there's more than one translation, there's several translations, and they all do this. So the translators recognized that he was not just speaking of nature in some generic sense that we normally would be speaking of it. And so they end up capitalizing nature to signify that. Hitler also calls nature eternal at times. And if nature is eternal, then that means that it wasn't created by some other being or some other god. So there's quite a number of ways. And just to give one other example, Hitler once said that he wanted to tear down a Catholic pilgrimage church in Linz, Austria, which is where he had grown up, so he was well familiar with this area, and put a planetarium and observatory there so that people could, instead of going to worship at a Catholic pilgrimage church, they could essentially see the wonders of creation and nature. And so all these things put together and a lot of other evidence, I think, does suggest that Hitler was a pantheist.